If you clicked on this video, it is no coincidence that this video found you and that you clicked on it. There is a very specific thing that is happening on the planet where more and more people are awakening to the fact that the truth of what has happened with the body's energy field and how, wait, we don't even have coconut water. Wait. So, what? You know, we always channel with coconut water and we just simply can't override the body's desires anymore. There's a little bit of that. Not desires as in, but just desires as in going towards what feels the best and most uplifting, but from the body. From the body, because the body is the one, when you are developing spiritually, and a lot of beings, first they go up for the comprehension, and that's when they go to channelers and they go to psychics, and then it sort of sets up a little bit of a kink in the energy field of the being. And that is that, oh, the up there is more important than the down here. Which, it couldn't be further from the truth if you want to actually be in balance. There's a lot of beings that are not in balance that are saying those things. It is important to clench the body's thirst for knowledge for as long as you need to. There is nothing wrong with this. However, there is a certain level of, once you see that it's not about acquiring more knowledge, you know, it's not about that. Well, definitely it's about using the knowledge, but that's not even it either. It's pre that. It's like really recognizing the truth of this experience, really going further back and just really coming to terms with this reality that you are not a body. But you have to know that you have a body and you have a responsibility with the body. For as long as you have a body, you have a responsibility with it. And so the way that you can bring the body back to more life, which is bringing it more into harmony with who you are, which is the soul, that is who we are speaking to. But there is a filter in your sort of knower coming through in the intellect. There's a filter that is getting removed so that you are experiencing more and more of these synchronistic events. Because the more you will harmonize your intellect, your perception, your how you deal with people, what stories do you put on top of when people do this and that and the other? How do you deal with that? It's about that. And that equation, when you get that equation right in your life, you are starting to enter into where these Kundalini awakenings can actually start to happen. Kundalini awakening is something that naturally happens when you are in alignment. And so it doesn't need to be these odd Kundalini awakening events where you actually get to sort of have someone else running the energy for a while, so you get to experience how it is. But it's really about maintaining the energy in your body continuously. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Because once you do that and you practice the best frequency that you can maintain within your vessels. And that means that of course your desires are important. You know, like that's the body speaking for you. But you have to pay attention to that. No one else can do that for you. You are the only one that can pay attention to you and make sure that your voice gets heard. That's your voice. And that can be many things. Your voice can be you creating music. Your voice, in some cases, is making a computer program that helps people. For another one, it can be dancing, singing. Some people have different things. They just wanna, it's more about the people, you know? So there are many different categories of interests. But there are certain interests that that just skyrockets when you combine it with energetic accuracy. Because it is about, like, it doesn't matter what you do, like trading, yeah, that can be your thing. It doesn't matter what it is. But when you include human energy into it and the comprehension of how the universe works and how your energy system works between people and all of that, then you get that actually the way that you treat this person over here and the way that you dealt with this person over there determines if you go up or down in frequency, which determines how well you're going to do in your dance or in your stock or in your this or in your that, because it governs everything. It's linked. When you do what is right for your body is when you receive those gifts. They're gifts of insight about how to move forward in your life. And sometimes it might seem like trading. Sometimes it might seem like going on a sabbatical. Sometimes it might seem like you're just stuck in a job until you just have to change. You know, there are so many different variants of where you can be on your journey. You could be well on your journey, but it just doesn't feel like it because of this and that and the other. But you can also be fully knowing that you are on your path, knowing how to maneuver this ship, this human ship. It's much more like a spaceship when you start to look at the evidence and take away the misperceptions about what things are, what signals in your body mean what. There hasn't been given a proper manual for that, right? That's not something that you got handed when you were a child from your caregivers. They didn't even know. And how do you introduce a comprehension of energy into a system that doesn't even know? You have to align to a different system. And that's what we have done. We have aligned to the holistic perspective, which is basically a series of things that we have been guided to connect with Jesus and the Ascended Masters and Gaia, and we're working on this balance. And it doesn't really matter what you call it. We are working with Jesus. You can work with someone else, and it's the same energy. It's the same in truth. It's the same. Everything is same in truth. You know? Because when something is true, we are all united. And when you have that comprehension on the inside, is when you know that you're on the right path. Because it's not about out there. It's about following your own connection with your own guides. And some people that are still operating a little bit more in the logical mind, let's say, calculate, call it flow. You see? It's the same thing. The remedy is the same. It's the same that we're talking about. You can be spiritual and not spiritual and still comprehend this game because it's universal. It's not something that just governs this or that or the other. But if you have a crooked thought system, it's going to seem very weird. It's going to seem a little bit twisted based on whatever you have misinterpreted of life's, of you trying to make sense of life. And that's completely comprehensible. Fuck, it's quite a ride that we're in. Boy, right? But we can't sign off now, you know, it's kind of like that. We have to keep going now. You know, there is no going back now. So there's no going back. Not even no. And that's when we know that we're on the right path. You know, the knowing, it's a signal that you do know from the inside. No other outside can dictate anything to you because you know. There is a resonance and a frequency that you just know. There's no other that is more important than this. Your inner connection with you. This inner connection with you is strengthening the more you are engaging with material that has to do with this, so that you are aligning to the best version that you can every single day. Every single day. This is why we're doing these 28-day shifts, so that we stay consistent. This is the reason why Buddhists pray, recite mantras, to stay in that frequency. We have a whole system of bringing through your soul mission, and it's a complete system of operation, of operating the human body in alignment with the holistic perspective. And that means that you are considering everything holistically. And that includes energy and includes truth. And there is a lot of truth about energy and how we can maneuver our bodies to have much more light running through them. And what that does is that whatever you're manifesting, you're turning up the dial. The more you are in alignment with everything. That's really what's happening. That's why we're shifting every single day. That's why we do it. Because there needs to be a practice. There needs to be a practice. There needs to be something that you do every single day. Devotedly, every single day. There is a balance to it, yes. But you have to have your thing. And if you don't have your thing, it's healing. Healing the body until you find your thing. Don't go and waste your time on other things. You can do it like that, but do it in parallel so that you get some insight of your next thing. That's the reason we run these Heya sessions also, to clear up the muck that can come sometimes in just daily living. These mucky frequencies that sometimes we just have to make sense of, have a space to make sense of things, breathe, hum, hear, channeling, and direct the energy so that we are clearing the space so that you can receive your own intuition. Sometimes that's singing, sometimes that's a good idea, sometimes that we are all so unique on what we are here to bring through. But one thing is for certain, we are all here to bring through something. And to embody more of something. To dare to live fully. Not through a computer screen, but also dare to do stuff out in the world. You are blessed beyond what you can imagine. But it's time that your mind and your consciousness, your view of reality gets a reality upgrade and an uplift so that you can operate these bodies in a way that is mostly in service to flow, to you, to joy. It's so wonderful to operate these vessels in more harmony. There are deeper levels of joy that we can experience through this body. Today has been such a wonderful day, and our heart has expanded so much in gratitude for everything that has transpired up until this moment. And we are so grateful for the realignment that we have attained after the last shift. The last shift was quite intense, actually, about sorting out a lot of relationship energies in our consciousness. Oh boy, yeah, the ones that are in the Ascension program, you know that it is sometimes you go through stuff, but the way that we are going through it is that we are closing it completely. We are making the steps needed to correct the energy so that we are going in and we are fixing things where we feel most alive. You see, that's how we expand. So much energy. It's so much energy when you are aligned, when you do the right thing. Because sometimes you have to go in to the world and fiddle and then come back out again. And when you make the right choices, Gaia rewards you. You know? This is how we elevate in frequency and receive more light. But it is a responsibility. Wear it with pride. There is responsibility, but there is also much greater joy that can be had when you make this transition. It is very different, and you can start to develop psychically after you've made this shift. And this is the requirement, actually, to develop psychically, is to make this connection within your consciousness, really. That's what we're working on every day, to align our consciousness into the holistic perspective, because that's how our system works the best. So this is what we have dedicated our life to, is this. This is where our heart is, really. And if you wish to join us, you're more than welcome. Sending you so many blessings, and let us know how you feel. If you felt resonance or upliftment in your heart, let us know, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.